Yeah, here we are. It's Q&A with Collin. And come on, folks. You didn't think we'd really forget about you now, did you? I don't know about you, Collin. Well, I do know because I I watch your social media, but I was getting lots of messages like, Dave, when are you and Collin back? And really, they just want to see you, Collin. How's it going, buddy?
No, they want to see us both.
Oh, sure.
You make this happen.
I think if they had a choice, I'd lose. You're in a different location now. A new place.
I have a different background now. It's
yeah,
a little bit
beautiful.
Better than that beige wall that we've been staring at for the last couple of years. So
right.
A little bit more scenic out in the backyard in this one.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know that's well, it's just one of the things off your plate now that kind of took some time to take care of all that and transition and everything else. But are you settled in, or are you still settling in?
I'm mostly settled in. I have a few things that are still on the go here. That's still a little bit construction, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. We've certainly got lots that we're going to share, but I think okay, so here we go.
It's blowing up already.
Oh, my goodness. There's always got to be something with you.
Do you break it?
I don't know what's going. My email program's just going. I don't know. Okay, there we go. We're all good now. It's your fault because well, it might not be your fault, but I'm going to blame you.
Okay.
Because you were just talking about the last time we were here, we had trouble getting live and everything because your computer was all doing funny things. So now you had to say something, so something had to happen at my end. Now we're even.
I jinxed it. At least it wasn't as bad as last time where I'm like, I don't think we're going to be able to do this.
It was a horror, wasn't it? I don't know who was more upset about it, you or me, but we were both struggling with that. Okay, I got to ask you a question before we get into the comments. Welcome, everybody. Nice to be back here. We've got some conversation topics that I know lots of people have questions about, and we will get to that. We're here for an hour-ish.
At least.
Right. We tend to go, well, that's my fault. We go long. But here's a question I've never, ever asked you. And I hope Dad's watching. Because, of course, I wouldn't be a live stream if I didn't at least say something about your dad. Does he tell dad jokes?
Not to the extent. He does every once in a while. He has a few that he'll do, but not to the extent that some guys do. I think I tell more dad jokes to my friends than he does.
When he does tell a dad joke, do they suck?
I laugh.
Or are they just really like, yeah, that's a dad joke like that?
I laugh. I think I get humor like that. So, I mean, for me, it's good.
Okay. All right. Good answer. Okay. So I have a whole stack here I've got a whole calendar of dad jokes.
Oh gosh. Oh, I remember this you did this a couple of years ago.
I think it was a long time ago that we did this, right? So I've scrolled to, if you're watching, folks, it's May the 16th. We're live. If you're watching the replay, it won't make sense. Okay. What's the advantage of living in Switzerland?
I don't know.
Well, the flag is a big plus.
Okay, I like that one. That's pretty good.
Put a 1 in the chat if you like it. A boo in the chat if you didn't. May 17th. What's ET short for?
Well, I know the realistic one. Yeah. What does it stand for?
Yeah. What's ET short for?
Or short for? Well, ET was pretty short himself, so.
It's because he's only got little legs. Wow. This is a show about Collin and towing.
And we're off air now.
My bakery burned down last night. Now my business is toast. Okay.
we're gonna get banned from air here.
It's I got to get it out of my system, right? It's been too long. It's been like 3 or 4 months, and I know to be honest with you, folks, we tried last month, and this time it was Mike. I had to cancel. It was just been crazy, so I do apologize. But we're glad that you still like us to come back. Okay, let's before we get into the comments, or do we want? Yeah. Before we get into the comments, let's talk about Heavy Rescue 401. This is, geez, I'm even going to have a hard time with it because I was so proud of you and your family and everything that they accomplished, and not just your family, but all the others that were involved in Heavy Rescue 401. We had the fundraiser back on, I think it was April 20th was when it happened, right? And
yeah, something about that.
yeah, and great turnout. People traveled from very far, as they always have, to be there. The community here where we live really showed up again as well. And I know that you had a lot of people coming up to you and your dad and your mom and your sister was there too, and probably asking lots of questions like, "What the hell?" Right?
Yeah.
And then we had the privilege, Jennifer and I, my wife, we went out for dinner with you and your family after, and we had some great laughs and fun, and but there was a little bit of emotion that went on there. I guess what I'm getting to, what was that like? What was that final? That was like the closure day, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, for us, it's really been a year because this was the first winter where we had no camera crew.
Yeah.
So that in itself was a bit odd.
Yeah. Right.
We're not being followed around. I mean, they couldn't have chosen a better winter because this winter was kind of lackluster. We had the one big storm there just before December where we had the multi-vehicle pileup. But after that, it was a quiet winter. So, I mean, we
didn't have a lot of snow, did we? Like, really?
No, like realistically, 4 major winter events this entire winter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that was kind of a bonus for the camera crews, but yeah, it was a bit bittersweet, and watching the final episode there, it was a little bit tough watching that. And I know at the very end, my dad and myself say a few words, and just watching that back, I know I had a tough time when I was actually making some of those speeches there at the end, and it was tough watching that again. So,
yeah.
But, such is life, right?
Well, I know, like, of course, you got the question, and I had lots of people reaching out to me saying, like, what's going on? Like, and well, of course, I think a tough part too is when we first found out that the show was being canceled, we were kind of like on embargo, like we weren't allowed to say anything, right? So that was, I was like, ugh.
I know, you and me.
I got a call, right? And it was emotional for me too, in the sense that I've been able to MC every event for your family, and then I get the privilege of getting the episodes before they air, and then I edit them for the fundraiser. So I had to watch that like 20 times.
Yeah.
Through to do the editing, right?
Yeah.
And I watched that ending probably 50 times. just even when it was done, I just kept going back and going back. But the first time, I was totally, this sentimental old guy definitely had tears coming down his face, and they were, mixed emotions, Collin?
Oh, for sure. And I know that I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of comments and stuff like that on the cancellation, and it's nothing to do with the production company. Like, they've been great. It's just one of those things that happens with shows that is out of the control of really everyone. It comes down to budgeting and whatnot. So it's one of those things. We have no say over it. If we could have, I would have liked to have seen 10 seasons. That was kind of my goal. 10 seasons or 100 episodes. We were pretty close to the 100 episode mark, though. We were one season away, I think we figured, would be 100 episodes. So, but you know, it's
Well,
still pretty cool. 7 seasons for
yeah,
Canadian television. That's amazing. That's something that a lot of shows don't make it past season 1 in Canada. So
no, that's right.
for us, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I the way I always handled the question, I think I did at the fundraiser too, is that's showbiz.
Yep.
That's
And that's the right answer.
that's maybe not the answer you're looking for, but that is the answer. So, because I mean, a lot of relationships were built through those seasons. Between, well, let's talk relationship, even growth between you and your dad out there together. That the growth that he's seen in you, and I think maybe he listens to you once in a while.
I think so. Yeah. You know what? It's really neat kind of looking back on some of those earlier episodes because I was only 2 years into the towing business. Yeah, I
Yeah,
grew up around it, but that still doesn't mean a whole lot. Like I still had a lot of learning to do, and I still have a lot of learning to do.
yeah, you never stop, right?
Oh, not in this business, that's for sure. And to look back at that and look at some of the stuff I was doing season 1, season 2, and kind of, you know, figuring out what I was doing, and then to look at, where I am now, a lot of the time I'm leading recoveries. I'm the full-time rotator operator. My dad's able to step back from these recoveries and he's able to just kind of let us do our thing. And I've got to tease him when he's out of town, hey, we got this one, send him pictures of it. Or else I usually send it the day after, say, oh, don't worry, stay on vacation for a couple more days. We got this handled.
Right. Well, because I know, and I'm really fortunate because I have a relationship with both your mom and dad, obviously, but I have an individual relationship with each one of them as well, which is really cool to me. And your mom and I, we do a lot of stuff together, so we always have conversations, and I keep her occupied for at least an hour when we get time, right?
Yep.
She's very patient that way, and so is your dad. We had a conversation at the fundraiser outside. He was setting up the rotator, and we got talking about our children, and what they've accomplished and all this stuff. And he mostly had good things to say for it. No, I'm just kidding. He really had. We had a nice heart-to-heart conversation about our children and stuff. And you can just tell that he's very, very proud of you. And I'm not leaving your mother out of this either. I mean, they're both very, very proud of you. They shared that regularly. And I mean, aside from running the towing industry, there's that, or your towing company, I should say. There's that, but then there's also life too, like outside of work and all that stuff to handle and juggle and figure out. And it's got to be tough to balance all of that.
Yeah, there's definitely a work-life balance that you really have to kind of figure out, and especially in this industry, it's tough. You're working late hours. You're working, sometimes days on end, just depending on, like, I was out all night last night. I think I had about 3 hours of sleep last night. So, and, it's just one of those things. It's a lifestyle, as we've always said in this industry. And, I enjoy it, but you do definitely have to have that outside kind of, life other than work, because if you don't, it'll eat you up quite fast. And so I've looked at that in the last little bit, and planned out a few more vacations. I'm going camping this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
It kind of led to my next thing, like self-care, right?
Mm-hmm.
Self-care is a big part of all this, and that's something that has to be learned as well, right? And I think it's important for people to understand. Well, I guess with anything you do, but the towing industry really is its own unique animal, if you will, right? And it's not for everybody, right?
No, it's one of those jobs. You either love it or you don't do it. That's what I've always said to people who are looking at doing this. You gotta love it, because if you don't, you're not going to be happy, and you're just going to be frustrated all the time. You're going to be miserable, and you can't do that. Not in this industry. You've got to love it. And the other side of that, though, is yes, the self-care, because a lot of people in this industry are like, oh, I'm super tough, I'm super macho, I'm gonna just keep doing what I do. I'm not gonna take any vacations. I'm just gonna keep working.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not. It's not healthy, and it's something that I think people don't realize that it really affects your health in the long run too. I see a lot of guys in this industry who are, in their 40s or 50s, and they're just beat to heck.
Mm-hmm.
They've just run themselves ragged for years on end without taking any vacation or, any them time. And at the end of the day, what good does that do to you? It just shortens your life.
Yeah. Great advice, Collin. And I hear your mom and dad in that voice a little bit too, right? For sure.
Yeah, a little bit of wisdom from them over the last couple of years, that's for sure.
The last couple. All right, Collin, we've made them wait long enough. Let's go and say hello to everybody. Some familiar and some new. There's Lisa Terryberry. Hello, David. Collin.
Hey,
Hello,
Lisa.
Right on. Robert, I'm not sure I understand this question. Maybe you do. Any future plans to raise money on Bay Street?
I'm not quite sure I follow that either, but hey, if someone's got some ways to make some extra money, hey, I'm all ears.
You're in, right? Okay. Kevin Johnson says hello from Maryland.
Hey, Kevin.
Robert says also, is this a part of Great Pacific Media? Yes, that's where the show was, right?
Yes, yeah. So that's the main production company behind it.
Give them a call.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about them. They did a fantastic job. They really worked tirelessly to kind of save the show, but there's only so much that they can do on their end.
That's right. They're really fantastic to work. They supported the Ohana Landing project too, in multiple ways. That's fantastic. Matthew says hello from Fremont, Nebraska.
Hi, Matthew. It's a little ways away.
Right. Here's Jennifer from Sandusky, Ohio.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Collin and Dave. I've moved from Nova Scotia to Ottawa, so I will have some questions for you for sure.
Hi, Tyler.
Right on. Oh, here we go. This crazy guy.
Hey, Tim.
You and your dad are still on top of my mental. Oh, there you go. Right.
That's awesome.
You're talking about these, right?
That's what he's talking about.
I'm really proud of you, son. Thanks, Dad. I have a question, Dad. What's that, son? When are you going to retire, Dad? Just every time. He's never going to retire. Jack Kane. Hey, guys. Great to see you again. Thanks, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Well, here we go. Hello from Denmark.
Wow. Hi, Cecile. That's amazing.
Wow. Alexa, what time is it in Denmark?
In Denmark, it's 1:49 a.m.
1:49 a.m. Boy, they love
Dedication.
You. Right? What's this? Ryan, I seen one of your tow trucks on 94 West one day.
Oh, okay. That could have been myself. I was down there last week. Was it a week or a week and a half ago, something like that? I was down there in Indiana. Actually, I went down to Indiana. So
okay, where? Like how far? West Lafayette area, or?
It was about 6 hours each way. I forget what the name of the city was. It was just a small area. Oh, I can't think of the name.
That's all right. Good trip, though.
Yeah, it was. Aside from breaking down on the side of the highway with the truck.
Uh-oh. What happened there?
I had wire breakthrough, and it shorted out the batteries. So.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. So thankfully, I got a huge shout out for Mercer Towing. They have a repair shop. They came out, they fixed the truck for me, got me going. So that was a lifesaver there.
Right.
Oh my God. I didn't want to be stuck there for the night with a truck on the back. That wasn't fun.
Right. Tow trucks aren't supposed to be towed.
No.
Stephen Bell says, Collin, do you guys ever do the towing in Highway 401?
We get up there every once in a while, but the mainstay of our work is like Sarnia Lambton, so the 402, Highway 40, a lot of the back roads. We do get out to the 401. I've been out there quite a few times.
Yeah. Cool. Here's Michael from Ohio.
Hi, Michael.
And here's Irene from Merritt, BC. Hello.
Hi, Irene.
Oh, and we are here.
My parents are watching.
That's totally Tammy. Well, I don't know. Is that your mom or your dad typing there?
It's probably going to be my mom because I don't know if my dad's on that page yet. I don't know if he's getting used to Facebook.
He hasn't been given admin privileges yet.
I don't know. He's getting used to Facebook. I will say that he is actually getting good with it.
I'm so proud of him. I just showed up one day. Here's this friend request from Gary, and I'm like, no, this got to be a fake account.
A fake one? Yeah, that's what I said too. And I messaged him like, "Hey, did you get Facebook?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
We talked about it at the fundraiser, and he just said, "I just decided one day, you know what? Here we go." No, is he texting you?
No, that's my Uncle Roger.
Uh-oh.
Probably telling me that it's way over.
Yeah, over. Okay. Wayne says, nice to see you both back. Nice to be here, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, thank you for watching.
Harold says, Dad is all business.
He's a little bit of fun, too.
He is. One thing I know about your dad is he's a really good listener, but then sometimes when he says things, when he does, it's like, whoa, right? But he's a good, I always enjoy our conversations. Peter says, hi, Collin.
Hey, Peter.
McNeil, Declan, Jamie.
Hi, McNeil.
Uh-oh.
Just give me 30 seconds.
Okay, go ahead. We'll mute you here. All right, so there you go. Collin's he's got stuff to do, right? That's what happens there. Taking the call and leaving me here. It's okay. We're going to get to everybody's comments here. Let's see. What's this? What we got here? Oh, hi, Ricky from Chicago. There we go. Okay, I'll unmute you now, buddy. You ready? Here we go. You're back.
Ricky.
Right on. Yeah, Jack's got okay, this will segue into what we need to share here. Before we get into this one, though, I'm pretty proud of this picture here. This was at the fundraiser, and we put our two families together, and that's one I got for the treasure books, that's for sure. That was a great night in the sense of what it did for Ohana Landing, but then there's that other thing. So I asked this on your post, what test line did you use to reel that monster in? You were fishing the other night.
I was fishing. This was last night when I post this just after I got home from the second call. So yeah, we went fishing last night. You know, I've always heard that you get better catches in the middle of the night. So right. You know, here I am playing in the nice waters of St. Clair River.
Doesn't count Ferry Dock Hillway, is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And that's was that Coast Guard or who's that out there in the boat?
No, so that was actually the Port Huron Sheriff's Department, which I have to give another shout out to them. Okay. I don't know if they're watching or not, but they came out last night and dove on it for us to rig it up because we don't have any divers on our team. Like my dad and I are certified, but not for diving like this, nor do we want to get into stuff like this. This is a little bit more technical. That's
somebody else's job, right?
Exactly. We've got people that we hire in for this stuff, but at 2 a.m, our diver is not coming out. So the Port Huron Sheriff's Department came out and dove on this for us, and they're across in Michigan.
Yeah. So they had to go in and tie this up for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. So did you? That must have been conversation back and forth. Like you probably had to guide them on how you wanted that scratched, or did they know?
They knew. They do a lot of this over on their side, so it's not the first time they've had to do this. They did it a little differently than our diver does, but I was perfectly fine with how they were doing it. So I had no worries there.
And this is a Jetta? Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
Volkswagen Jetta.
Boy, somebody took a wrong turn, or
Um,
didn't know that the road ended, or
yeah, that was the parking lot, so we're not quite sure what happened, but either way, everyone walked out okay, so
they
that's
did.
all that matters. So
Okay, all right, yeah. At the end of the day, right? This, how long start to like from the time you got the call to the time you were done? How long would this take?
we were about 2.5 hours on this one. It wasn't terribly long for timing because by the time I got out there with the rotator, the sheriff's department was already there. They were waiting.
Okay.
Because we had originally gotten the call at about 12:30 last night, 12:30. I think I started to deal with it. And then we couldn't get any divers. So it was just kind of like, okay, well, there's no divers available. So we'll just leave it till the morning. And then at about 1:30, my driver, the light duty driver, called me back up and said, hey, they've got divers, get the rotator going. I'm like, okay. So it was about 4 a.m. I was back home. And then as soon as I get back home, I got called for a truck broke down on the highway in a live lane. So
there you go.
not much sleep.
Life of a tow truck driver. And yet, folks, he's still here to say hello. We appreciate that, Collin. That's awesome. Here, where's the picture I'm looking for? Because there's something missing out here. Where is there somebody missing? Oh, there he is. There's
and
that
even my
dad.
Even my dad had to make an appearance on this one.
Yeah. Was he checking up on you, or did he just need to go like, wow, I got to see this?
I think it was more, it's just cool when we get stuff like this. So he was probably like, okay, I want to come see this one.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. And nobody was hurt, like you said, at the end of the day. Now, was this you or is this somebody else that towed this one?
This was Chris. He's one of our newest drivers, or he is our newest driver on our light duty. So he got to tow a Cobra replica, which is pretty cool. I'm yet to tow a Cobra replica. That's haven't towed a real Cobra either. They're pretty rare.
I was gonna say, like when I first saw that, I was like, no way. Like
we do some cool stuff, Dave.
Yeah, right. Still, that's pretty cool. I'd take the duplicate, no problem.
I'm with you there.
Right. Okay, we're gonna go to some more comments here before we've got some special announcements coming up we're going to talk about. But first, let's say hello to Mark.
Hi, Mark.
And McNeil, Declan. Oh, they say great work. I think we'll talk to
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Darlene, great seeing and meeting everyone in Sarnia. Glad you're back online. Still sad about, I know.
Well, thank you, Darlene. Thank you again for attending. That was awesome.
I watch always really being the end of the show. So speaking of the show cancel, will there be reruns? Do you know?
I would assume that they're going to play reruns, but I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. I know that because normally we were on at 7:00 every night doing the reruns, but I haven't seen them, so I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I guess time will tell. I know that they're still playing reruns down in the States on the Weather Network.
So. Right. Okay. Here's an interesting one from Tyler, and if Collin doesn't know, I might be able to help you with this, but Tyler wants to know, you may not do towing in the Ottawa area, but you know of any other tow companies around Ottawa that use two-way radios that I could listen to? I'm assuming on a scanner, right?
So typically a lot of companies now, they don't do open frequency, like walkie-talkies. They've got push to talk, or some other form that's a closed circuit so that other people can't listen to it. I mean, you can I know that there are apps for like the police scanners and stuff like that. Yep. You can listen to those, but yeah, for towing wise, I don't think there's anything out there that you can just kind of open frequency listen to.
Not like the old days.
No, not like the old TV radios or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tyler, I appreciate where you're coming from. A little known fact: I'm actually a ham radio operator. And so I have an old scanner over here, 20 channel. And the other day I bought a couple weeks ago an old Realistic. You remember Realistic from Radio Shack?
Okay.
They had a 200 channel scanner
Ooh.
that I had, and back in the day it was like $500 back in the day in the 80s when I bought one. And I found the exact same one online, and it's sitting over here. But I bought it on Facebook Marketplace for $40. And so now I have the exact same one I had when I was a kid, and then I got the exact same 20 channel. Anyway, little known fact. So
That's
I can
awesome.
appreciate you wanting to listen. There's still lots to listen to, but and interesting fact here as well. When I did work for your parents, I had this exact. Can I show it, Collin? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Let me go here. I'm still here, folks.
He's walking off. He doesn't want to be here anymore.
Had enough, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the this interview's over walkout.
Yeah.
I've had enough of you. Get this thing off of me. Okay. This right here is a scanner.
Oh.
Okay. And you can program 200 frequencies into this. And I had recently become a ham operator when I started working with your parents. And I had this in the two-way radios we had. I did have this at home, and I could listen to the towing companies and everything, and cab companies and the police and all that stuff, right? So it's a retro thing for me, right? Yes, I'm that old, folks. So, but that was pretty cool, right? So Tyler, it's still lots to listen to out there. Yeah. Sherry's asking about why was it canceled. We don't know.
Yeah, it was popular. The answer is yes, it was popular, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the answer.
That's right. Colin and Gary are first class, 100%. Known them for almost 10 years, onward and upward.
Thank you, Jared.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Of course, this guy's got to be here. Carl Freeman. Hello, Carl from Oshawa.
Hey, Carl.
Carl's also a ham radio operator.
Okay.
Yeah. So we often say hello to each other. But I don't think we've talked on the radio yet, Carl. We'll have to try that. You guys should have your own show. We do. It's right here. I mean, the money's okay. The money's okay, right? But you know what, Melissa? I appreciate you saying that. Let's just call it foreshadowing for now. Greg says, "Sup, Colin."
Hey, Greg.
Barry Loxton. Hey, Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Interesting fishing trip. Yeah, another great talk.
Hey,
you know Barry?
I believe we've met in passing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a photographer here in town. Follows my show too, and just a great guy. Very, very supportive of the community as well.
Yeah.
Sean, watching from Ayr tonight. Oh wow.
Hey, Sean.
The wee town of Ayr.
It's where all the tow truck back ends come. Well, they don't get built there, but that's where they get assembled.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I didn't
Yep.
know. Okay. Another little known fact. Boy, we're just a bear full of knowledge here tonight for you.
Hi,
Michelle says hi. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Jennifer Talbot. My birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Have you thought about coming back to Heavy Rescue 401? Well, I think you know
well,
better.
yeah, it's not us who's left the chat.
Right. Joseph says, well said, Colin. Mental health is important, and remember that's not weak to speak as a sufferer. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yes, you need to take. So this is obviously we're kept playing catch up here. Take time for yourself for sure. This is hey guys, back again. Thank you for the Q&A. Rick from Fort Myer, Florida.
Hey, Richard.
Nice.
We weren't quite down in Fort Myers, but we were in Orlando a couple weeks back there for the tow show in Orlando.
Oh, okay. How was that?
That was really good. It was nice weather we had the entire time. It was nice to get back out into it and kind of have things open back up and see some new equipment.
And you got around pretty good, or like you'd get going somewhere, and then you have to stop. They just want to give you some love, right?
Yeah, it's always hard when we go to something like that because it's a room full of tow truck drivers, so everyone knows who we are. So
Right.
you make it 5 feet and you're stopped again. So
You're gonna have to like put on like fake beards and sunglasses and hats like the Hollywood movie stars do, you know.
we almost had to because we had to be somewhere during that. We got invited to sign autographs while we were there, and we had to get to one of the booths. And it was like, oh crap, we're not going to make it.
Good problem to have. Bruce says hello from Northern Michigan.
Hi, Bruce.
And wow. So Joseph is in Australia, 9:50 a.m. Wednesday morning here. Wow. Thanks so much, Joseph, for your time.
That's awesome.
Love watching the show. Been watching ever since Collin was in a 1-ton truck in the mud. Oh, sorry. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Hello from Brampton, Ontario.
Hi, Rose.
And Jack was asking about the tow show, Florida. I don't know what preferred towing. What? No, he hasn't. I don't know what they're talking about.
I'm assuming it's my dad doesn't have access to the page. He hasn't figured it out yet.
Either that or no, he hasn't retired. Because I was.
Or that too. That could be it too.
Okay, yeah. Billy, hey, Collin from Maine. I'm a big fan of you and also the rotators. And my question is, how much does your rotator cost to build and maintain? I own a towing company and I love Heavy Rescue 401 and Highway Through Hell. There you go.
Well, the rotator is definitely an expensive piece of equipment. So ours is the NRC 65-ton sliding rotator. So ours is about $1.2 million Canadian. I believe that converts to like 950-ish US. But the prices may be higher now. This is going on prices from a little while ago. So
yeah, right.
The prices have definitely gone up in the last couple of years with things, but yeah, and maintenance wise, realistically, that truck doesn't see a lot of use. Like it's not an everyday truck. So maintenance costs aren't as high as some of the other trucks just because again, it's not being run down the road every day. So it's a little bit cheaper on maintenance, I guess, but the initial cost gets you.
For sure. Gee, I wonder why we have to. Yeah. Anyway, why do we got to charge for these services? And what would the size? My question: what would the size of a diesel tank on that truck be?
That one's actually got one of the smallest diesel tanks, just because of the way it's set up with the twin steer. We can only fit one fuel tank on it, and it's a 378 liter tank on that one.
Holy crap.
Some of our other trucks have twin 454 tanks, so just over 900 liters.
900.
And this is liters for my American friends.
Right. And the cost of diesel is, I don't even know. Like I wouldn't know what's
here in Canada, it's $1.45 a liter.
Right. Times, I'm sorry, what did you say? 900 liters?
900 liters.
Okay, you guys do the math.
Yeah.
Because that's beyond, it's over 100, so I can't. Stephanie says, how you doing, Collin?
Hey, Stephanie, I'm doing well, thank you.
And Victor says, hello from Indiana.
His company's my savior.
Is that who you were talking about earlier?
That's who I was talking about.
Oh, awesome. Right on, Victor. We're glad you got him home for us. Yeah, okay. So are you taking over the company and is Gary retiring?
I am taking over slowly. It's one of those processes that's definitely not an overnight thing. My dad's definitely taking some more time off. Him and my mom are taking some more time off, which is nice, gets them away. But yeah, we're so busy right now that having him around is just a huge help, because without him, Oof, I wouldn't be able to keep up right now. It's just so busy.
And there's, I mean, aside from, well, let's talk about the business side for just a minute. I mean, okay, there's the towing. You got to go and you got to know how to do that, and you got to manage a team, and there's all that. But then the business side, like, what are you doing in the office? Like, could you give us kind of a, if you're not in the tow truck but you're at work, give us an insight on the day.
So typical day. The schedule, I make out the schedule for the month for the on-call. And then on top of that, I'm keeping inventory of what we have in the compound,
Right.
making sure that the letters are being sent out. So we have to send out registered letters on vehicles if they are past 15 or before the 15-day mark. If they've been in the compound, we have to send out registered letters before 15 days. So I'm keeping track of that. I'm keeping track of which vehicles are now transitioning to become ours, and which vehicles are good to sell and which vehicles are going for scrap or going to be donated to the fire departments, because we do a lot of training with them.
Oh yeah, right.
Organizing calls, making sure that the guys are a little bit more organized, making sure that we have supplies for the trucks. There's a lot of stuff that goes into the day-to-day.
Boy, I'm tired already.
There's a lot of stuff outside of just the towing.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there for sure. Here's a great question from Margie Taylor. Love the show and we'll miss all of you very much. Any chance of a complete series set coming out? I'm guessing DVD. I don't know. Does anybody do DVD? Or maybe streamed?
I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing. I know in the earlier seasons, the production company made us a handful of discs. I think we only got like season 1 and season 2, maybe season 3, but unfortunately after that it kind of stopped. But I mean, I can throw it out there to the production company. We still talk to them every once in a while.
Yeah, why not?
Bug in their ear, say hey.
Apparently, Pierce says the whole series is on Crave. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Hey there, Chris wants to know, have things changed now since the cameras are no longer there doing the filming for the show? Well, you kind of mentioned earlier it was kind of odd that they weren't there, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's the day-to-day stuff obviously hasn't changed. You know, they filmed us doing what we were doing. So realistically, that end of things hasn't changed. It's more so on the back end. Like we had to do a lot of after filming sort of stuff, like get the B-roll of trucks leaving the yard and get the interviews and stuff like that. So anytime you saw me sitting in the chair with the truck in the background,
right, talking about what happened, and
that's all
drone
after.
drone shot.
Yep, that's all after stuff. So that sort of stuff, that stuff's gone away. And I mean, it's not a terrible thing. It took a lot of time doing a lot of that stuff, but it was still neat. It was neat to do that stuff, and we got to become friends with all the camera operators and the sound engineers and producers and stuff like that. We still keep in touch with a lot of them. It's amazing some of the stuff that they work on. There's a lot of big shows that these guys work on, and to get to hear their stories was pretty cool. Every year they'd come back and it was like, oh, I was filming this show, and I was working on that show, and a lot of the stuff they couldn't tell us until the show was on. Like, it's the show that I'm watching, and it's like, holy crap! Oh, you guys were filming that? Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's neat stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
Non-disclosure agreements. Yes, I hear you. There's actually, I have that question. Did you guys? You would have had to probably. Would you have had to sign an NDA for the show?
Yeah. We had to sign some documents stating that we weren't going to be talking about the show before, or we weren't going to be posting pictures. So that's kind of why a lot of the recs that we did through the winter, like through the past years, I wasn't posting a lot during the winter, even though we were doing recs. I couldn't post anything because, we were saving it for the show. So I would always save it for the next year. And when that episode was coming out, I would post those pictures if I remembered.
Yeah, right. So there's a lot of that stuff that I think a lot of viewers they don't understand that they don't realize like you can't talk about the show because it'd be spoiler alert everywhere,
Yeah.
right? And there's a lot of certain people have rights. There's a publicist, there's a company, there's a lot going on there, right? So and then everybody, yeah. Betty says I live in Port Huron, Michigan. Hello there, Betty.
Hey, Betty. I was over there today.
Tim says, great job, you guys in towing.
Thank you, Tim.
Rachel says, hey, hello, Collin and Tyler. Good to see you again. Who's Tyler?
Rachel. I don't know.
I don't know. It's okay. Whoa, it's doing it. That thing.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You broke it?
Okay. Hi, Collin from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I love watching you and your dad on Heavy Rescue. Yeah.
Hey, Robert.
Okay, that's good to know. The reruns are on Sundays between 4 and 7 here in New Jersey on the Weather Channel.
Okay. So in the States, just like I figured they had the reruns. Up here in Canada, I don't know.
Yeah. Good evening from Newmarket.
Hey, T-Bone.
And Jack has one of those scanners, but in New York, they're so outdated. I know, but I still listen to him because there's like 4. Geez, there might even be 5, but there's 4 anyway. Ham radio repeaters here in town, so I'm always monitoring those. And then we got some other fun stuff that I listen to too. But yeah, they're pretty cool. It's definitely retro. Like that came out in the 80s.
Well, I wasn't around then.
No, you weren't. Yeah, and Peter says a lot of towns, counties, and state agencies here in the U.S. are going digital, and they're encrypting their channels. Same with Sarnia PD. I used to listen to Sarnia PD. They had like 4 channels, well, 5 actually, but 4. And now if you go, you can still go to that frequency, and they do still use radios sometimes. But it's like a constant, it's like a carrier that's constantly sent out, and you can't. They just, I mean, for obvious reasons, they don't want you, because back in the day we'd listen to them, right? And it was so funny because they'd say, can you call blah 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 at blah 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 if you have their, and they'd give the phone number out over the air, and me and my buddy would listen, and we'd say, boy, how funny would that be if we picked up the phone and called that person and said, cops are coming. But I was like, but you can't do that, right?
No, you might get arrested for that.
Then we go to jail. We used to go out in our cars too. And okay, I don't think there's a stat. I don't think I can be arrested for this now, but we would be out in our cars and we'd hear a call, right? And we'd drive by. We would just kind of drive around. We were very discreet about it, or so we thought. We didn't get in the way of anybody or anything, right? And then one time we were driving around, and the guy at the front desk, who also had access to the radio, he come across and he says, I think we're going to have to get that new tool out there that blows up those scanners. And we were like, we were like 17. So that put the end of our fun.
So they were just messing with you.
That's a true story. Watch every show with my mom from Montreal. We love it. You're the best. Right on, James.
Thank you, James.
And happy birthday.
It's a little early, but thank you, Carl.
Right. I was going to say, I didn't miss that, did I?
No. Couple. I don't know what today is.
When is your birthday? Can you tell us that?
May 25th. So it's like just 9 days out.
Everybody send Collin a card. When are we going to do a double rotator recovery?
Oh, man, you've got our old rotator. You know, we definitely have to. We got to find something big and mean, though.
Who's this? Who's Kyle?
Kyle is with Woodstock. Him and his brother and father own Woodstock Towing and Tire Service. Okay. They've got our old rotator, our 2012 rotator, which I very much loved to drive and operate because that was just a mean truck. So and you can see it in the background of his picture there. That's
that's cool.
that's it all painted up. So he's got it his colors now. So it's a sweet truck. It is
Right on.
just an absolutely sweet truck. We'll get on one eventually. Don't worry. We'll have some fun. Maybe on the eastern end of the 402.
There you go. There you go. Sounds like okay. Mark says, "Hey Collin, big fan of HR 401. You guys met my boss John at the Florida Tow Show from Loftus Towing, Moncton, New Brunswick. Hello."
Okay. Yep. Yeah, there was a lot of Canadians there, which was awesome to see. A lot of people we knew, a lot of familiar faces, and then people from all over the world. There was, oh goodness, it was either Switzerland or Sweden. There was a group from there. There was, I believe, a group from the Czech Republic.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
just
cool.
people from all over the world coming to the tow show, and a couple of them came, said hi to us, so it was pretty cool. I know there was a couple guys from New Zealand, so it was pretty neat.
All right. Sean wants to know if there's any new toys coming.
We do have a new truck coming. It's supposed to be here in September.
Right.
Maybe, hopefully.
Of what year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we just wait.
There
When
you
it
go.
shows up, it shows up. It's one of
Okay.
those things.
And there you go. Something to look forward to, folks. I'm sure we'll be able to hear all about it when that happens. Rachel also says, "Happy birthday." Do you do anything special for your birthday?
Not really. We usually go out for supper, the family and we go out for supper, and yeah, just kind of take it easy. I don't know. I've never really celebrated birthdays all that much, but I guess this camping trip this weekend is kind of just my weekend away for celebrating my birthday, I guess. Or
Here you go.
yeah.
Do you turn the phone off when you go away?
I mean, I'm going to be up in Tobermory, so I'm probably not going to have any reception anyways. So
Oh darn, the phone's not working. Okay.
It's as good as being off anyways.
Right. Jim says, coming soon for a photo shot with you and your dad there, Collin. All right, okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you at the yard.
What's this one? Mike watching from Step Dials? Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Where is that? Now I got to look that up on Google Maps here.
I've never even heard of it. Sorry, Mike, if I haven't heard of it, but
in Quebec. It's in Quebec.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you get around.
That is a long way.
That's what, yeah, okay.
That was a long trip.
Oh, there it is. Oh, Septiles, Quebec municipality. Oh, it's a municipality.
Our phone's great. We can look up where everyone's from.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry. Are we live still? Okay. Great show. Shout out from Niagara, Alpine Nurseries.
Well, thank you for watching Alpine Nurseries.
Would like it if you guys could come to Sandusky, Ohio. Would love to meet you in person, and thanks for the birthday wish. Yeah.
We've been down to Sandusky a few times, actually, because you guys have the Kalahari Water Park. So it's one of my dad's favorite places to go.
Mitch, love the show. Been watching since day one. It's nice to see Collin as a young guy working hard to keep the roads open and people safe. Keep up the good work. Stay safe. Listening from Fort McMurray, Alberta. Wow. Right.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you for tuning in.
All right. I'm trying to get caught up here. I guess, this is a good one. What do you like to do when you're off the clock? If you're ever really off the clock.
I mean, I've been getting into some new hobbies over the last little bit. I've always enjoyed kind of cooking. That's always been something I do. Like I do beef jerky.
Oh, really?
Homemade beer. I've had a smoker for almost a year, and I fired up for the first time there on Mother's Day, and I made a roast for my mom for Mother's Day. And that was pretty fun. It's quite the process to do, but man, it turned out freaking good. I'm gonna have
Did
to use that thing more often.
Right on. Right on.
So,
Did you say you
do a
make
little-
homemade beer too?
Yeah, homemade beer. I haven't done that in a little while. I've just been so busy. That's a whole day process doing
Yeah.
homemade beer because you've got to constantly watch it, make sure it's at the right temperatures, and it's quite the process. So I'm going to get back into that.
I wouldn't have the patience. So you make it and then call me. I'll come over and drink it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, Greg's saying would love to see the show come back. Of course. Yeah. How old were you when you started driving tow truck? I was 16 in Michigan. There you go.
I was 18, so it's been 10 years.
It's really been 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
And how old are you gonna? How old? Yeah. So you're gonna be what? 28?
29.
You're 29. You're turning 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I'm gonna be turning 29 in a couple days.
Rachel wants to know if we will continue to have live streams. Yes.
Yes.
Collin and I have had several conversations about this, and we're committed to as much as our schedules will allow, trying to figure a way to do this, like, the first Monday or the first, like, something regular, which is great to do, I think, Collin. But I also think too, folks, that like when it's like you're waiting for it, and then all of a sudden we just go, okay, this is the day. Like here you go, right? So, but we are committed to once a month. Whatever that might be, right, Collin?
I guess we got to do like 5 catch-up ones.
Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow, buddy? We'll live stream while you're camping. Oh, yeah. Oh, darn, you won't have reception. Okay. I don't know what Susan Holbrook. What happened to your hand?
Oh, I think just that. It's just grease on my hand.
Oh,
wire rope. Yeah.
I thought maybe she was getting confused with Gary. How's Gary's hand doing?
It's as good as it's going to get. He worked very hard on getting it to where it is, but no, he's got full use of it, which is a common thing we get asked. He's got full use of it, so that's good. It's about 85% strength is what he figures. So
right, okay, that's good. Good evening from Northern Ontario. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hello from Kingston. Hey, Pedro.
Hey, Pedro.
Mark says he's got the same scanner too. Wow, it's kind of cool.
You need to start a club,
right? Do you sell any T-shirts? I'm so glad you asked that question. For merchandise, you can go to preferredtowing.com, and that supports Ohana Landing, which is a youth transitional housing facility here in Sarnia, brought forward by the Vanden Hoevels, Gary and Tammy, and of course your mom, really the lead on that. Yeah. And now, the Heavy Rescue fundraiser was a big part. I think at the last fundraiser was it 20,000 or 18 or something around that? I can't remember, but it was a decent number, right?
Yeah.
But that was really significant for Ohana Landing, and now that's gone. So all proceeds from merchandise purchased from Preferred Towing on their website goes to support that. And in addition, we're not done with you yet. If you'd like to come and hang out with us, come down to Sarnia. The Sunset Cruising Nights on the Duke d'Orleans, which is a river, I guess a river boat you'd call it. It's not a paddle boat, but it's a boat. And I don't know, about 180 people, I think, can go on there. And June the 2nd from 7 to 10 p.m. And music by 10 Beach Drive. Wow. I gotta. These guys good or what?
I have no idea. I haven't heard them, so I'm gonna have to look them up when we're off air here.
Pardon me. You're supposed to say yes. They're amazing.
I'm sure they're gonna be amazing, but I've never heard their music, so
Call Terry for tickets. I wonder, could I call him right now? Because I don't have my tickets
yet. Wonder if he's watching.
Right. That's really cool. So these are things that I know your mom's bringing forward to continue to support Ohana Landing. And I know there's some other folks in the community. I'll give a plug too. I'm doing a motorcycle ride. It's called the Ride of Respect on June 17th, where we'll have motorcycles drive through the city. just to remind everybody motorcycles on the road, and to just remind everybody we need to respect each other on the road. That includes the motorcycles, got to respect the road both ways there. And of course, remembering to slow down and move over. We try to create awareness for that. And all donations from the Ride of Respect are being given to Ohana Landing once again this year. So things like that happen in the community are what needs to happen to continue to maintain Ohana Landing. So anybody who's from out of town that wants to come down for the motorcycle ride, we'd love to have you come down. And I think likely we haven't 100% there yet, but maybe Gary and Collin will be around. You never know. But there's certainly the trucks there, and I know they clear the parking lot out, and that's where we start the ride, is at Preferred Towing. And thanks to Preferred Towing for allowing us to do that. It's, if you haven't been to the Preferred Towing yard, it's a pretty cool place. It's a pretty cool place to look around and go, oh, right on, right? And of course, Preferred Towing on Facebook, and it's definitely Tammy. Sometimes me that looks after it, but it's definitely Tammy that's looking after that tonight. And of course, we'd like to remind everybody, slow down, move over. It is the law. And I'm happy to say I'm seeing more signs pop up on highways, etc., that are saying that. The electronic billboard signs. Actually, when you come into Wallaceburg off the 40, right about there, there's a sign right there, slow down, move over, something like that. So
they had it on the 402 for the last week as well, actually, too. I was trying to remember to pull over and get a picture of it so I could share it, but I kept forgetting.
You think the show had a lot to do with that too, eh, Collin? You know, bringing that to fruition for everybody to slow down and move over.
Yeah, the law was very new at the time the show had come out. I believe it was only within the first year when the show came out. So for us, it was a huge piece of awareness. And on top of that, I mean, even before it was law, it should have been something that people just did.
Right.
But now I think people are seeing it on a more regular basis. You know, they understand what we go through on the side of the roads. So for them, you know, they give us that respect on the side of the roads.
Perfect. And folks, it's important to understand this isn't just for tow truck drivers. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
The best thing that the public can do to help us is move over, slow down. It's also the law to move over when you're approaching a stopped police cruiser or tow truck, ambulance, fire. You need to move over and give that one lane if it's safe to do so. And if you can't, you need to at least slow down. We want to go home to our families at the end of the day too.
Yeah, for sure. And that being said as well, it is National Police Week here in Ontario. So I was out cruising in the car earlier, Collin, and I was down like Wellington and Vidal area there, and there were 3 officers on bicycles. And,
okay.
I did make a point. I waved, I tooted the horn at them, and they were probably like, "Oh, what?" And I just said, "Happy National Police Week," because so, you know, thank your officers for what they do. They're committed to our communities, right? So happy National Police Week there as well. Is there a tow truck week or a tow truck day?
So there's a slow down, move over day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I believe it has already passed. It usually gets a fair amount of recognition, but for some reason, I think I missed it this week.
Yeah, I don't recall it either. So
yeah, but yeah, there is a slow down, move over week recognition. So, and that encompasses the towing companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to some more comments here, folks, and then there is another video I want to play. I'm trying to get to some people I haven't gotten to yet. So if you've got multiple questions, I might not get back to you. But Tim, Melina says you have to teach me to cook.
You just got to experiment. That's all you got to do. You just got to have fun with it and experiment. Get a bunch of spices and start throwing stuff together. That's what I do.
Oh, I like this one, Jennifer. When show started, we were living in Wawa, Ontario.
okay.
I was there 2 years ago on the motorcycle. What a beautiful place it was.
Yep.
A very friendly place too. Continue to support and buy. Keep going, guys and girls. Thanks for your support, Jennifer.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
And this is my 11-year-old son, Matthew, and I are big fans of the show. Hi from the Chicago.
Hi, Brandy and Matthew.
You know who I'm looking for too is, it's Collin, little Collin, right?
Yep.
Right. I haven't seen anything there yet, but he's quite the young fella, right? I know he came up to you guys, but he come up to me at every show.
Yep.
Every fundraiser, and just wants to. He's just like, thank you, and he's just a really neat kid. And last time we were at the last fundraiser there, I said, "So you gonna be a tow truck driver?" Yep. Like no hesitation and with such conviction. And I believe we'll be seeing him in the future, right?
Oh yeah, he's dedicated, that's for sure. He's growing up watching the show, and that's neat. It's neat to be able to see that in the communities now that the younger generation have grown up watching the show, and this has now become an avenue that they're looking at.
Yeah, for sure. Keith says, hello from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I saw you a few months ago going through on US 30 in Indiana.
Hey, Keith. Yeah, that a few months ago, that would have been Tim, I think. We've had a couple trips actually down that way.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had Tim, myself, Aaron's been down there. We've all been down there in the last few months.
Cool. Wow, here's one. I want to talk to this guy, Ronnie. Greetings from Costa Rica.
Hey, Ronnie, that's awesome. That's a beautiful country. Beautiful country.
Have you been there?
I've been there a few times. Yeah.
I want to I'm trying to talk Jennifer into going and living there for 4 months at a time.
Do it.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
It's not me you got to convince, buddy. She's like, well, I'm like, I know.
Tell her there is no it's awesome.
That's you tell her when you see her that, because I've been telling her for 2 years. Ronnie, maybe we connect with me, Ronnie. I might want to pick your brain on how to live down there. And you know what pick your brain means, right, Collin? When somebody says, hey, I'd like to pick your brain.
I know what it means.
It means free advice. It means you don't want to pay.
Yep.
At least buy me lunch.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think Jeff. Okay, let's try it. So what are your thoughts on the final season of Heavy Rescue 401? I'm assuming he's talking about the final episode, right?
You know what? I think everything was well put together. We had a lot of good wrecks, and there was a lot of other companies that had great wrecks as well throughout the season. The camera crews worked very hard on it. The producers worked very hard on it. So, it's sad seeing it go, but, I know that everyone definitely worked very hard to make it come to reality.
Yeah. Great experience though, right, buddy?
Oh, for sure. 100%. Just something I never thought in a million years would happen. And to be a part of it has been pretty cool.
I got to tell you, I've enjoyed watching, and I watched from afar your growth and even your mom and dad that I've known for so long, just to watch them grow.
Yeah.
And I remember your dad saying, and he never used the word someday. He says, in the future, I will have. That's how he said it. I remember that I will have these trucks and and there was never a doubt in my mind that was going to happen. So that's awesome too. It's been a journey for me to watch too. It's October. Oh, National Move Over Awareness Day is October 19th, usually third Saturday of October. Thanks,
okay.
RJ.
So I didn't miss it. Okay, thank. I was going to say.
And then Mom Preferred Towing says, "Oh, this is National Road Safety Week, and the other one is in September."
Okay.
Now Susan says it was May 10th. I don't know what's happening. SDMO May 10th. Okay. Every day.
Okay.
Here's
the
what
day
I think.
itself.
Oh, okay. Every day should just be slow down, move over day.
I agree.
Oh, Costa Rica is our favorite destination. See, I didn't know you'd been there. Okay, so now I have to talk to you.
Yeah, now you got to pick our brains.
I got it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go, and we'll live stream from.
Yeah, we could do a live stream on a beach down there. I like this idea.
Totally. Let's go tomorrow. Well, okay, maybe October. We'll do the slow down move every day or whatever that is down there. Okay. Oh, look at the time already. Jeez, I'm just having so much darn fun with you. Yeah, Mark just said it should be every day. Everybody, thanks so much for your comments. Keep them come. If you've already put a question in or a comment, like please keep adding the comments. But if I've already gotten to one, I might not get back to you because I've got to ask a few questions here. Well, Collin and I, we've got something to settle. Actually, Collin and I had an argument recently, and it was after the final fundraiser, and we went out for dinner, and we got talking about history, and I thought I knew more than Collin. And well, he thought he knew more than me. And as it turns out, we were both sort of wrong.
All right.
Collin was definitely way more right than I was. So we got talking, and this was something I learned about you I didn't know, which is really cool. You're really a huge, like, capital HUGE history buff.
I enjoy it. I enjoy looking back. It's more so between like the 1800s all the way up to current is my more specialty.
Right. And that's where you got me because we had told you that Jennifer and I had gone down to New Orleans.
Yep.
And that we went on this big paddle boat, which is amazing. If you haven't been there, Collin, you got to go.
It's on my list.
Right? Pardon me. I got to. Okay. Sorry. And we got talking about the war of, I said the War of 1812.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, no, it wasn't the War of 1812. That was blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, but the guy talked about the War of 1812. And then it hit me. I was like, I was sure to like 3 days ago. I was still like, I'm sure there was something in there. I got to tell Collin. And then the song hit me. The Battle of New Orleans. Have you ever heard the song?
Oh, who's it by?
Okay, so the answer is no.
Well, I may have. I don't.
In 1814, we took a little trip, went down the Mississippi and down the river on the mighty Mississippi. It's called the Battle.
I think I've heard
what's his name? Johnny. I think. Well, I should know this. Johnny Horton, I think, was his name.
Okay.
And the Battle of New Orleans in 1814, we took a little trip.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 1814 that I was thinking of when you get off the boat and you go to this battleground.
Yep.
And the guys, it's very, very cool. But it was the War of 1815. But they went down in 1814 to get there. And it was the Canadians that really won the war against them.
Yep.
And the guy said, but you won't read that in a history book. Because they don't, we never lose wars.
Yeah.
You said something similar. They've actually never won a war, right?
Technically, yes. Yeah. The whole thing was the Civil War was the only war they've won. I'm going to get a lot of fire for this.
Yeah, right.
You had to bring this up, Dave.
Well, come on. This is history, right? I think that's just cool that people would want it. That's something I never knew that about you. And I thought that was, but it was funny because I left. I mean, we had a great time for sure. We did talking to you guys and having dinner and snacks, but I left going, God, I got to figure this out. So I've been waiting for the next live so I can bring this up.
So you could torment me?
Well, you were actually right. Of course you were. Like, I don't know why I even doubted you. But that's cool. And then before we started the live tonight, I discovered you like to play Minecraft.
Yep. That is one of my other pastimes
Yeah.
that I don't get to do as much. I know a lot of people played it over the years and kind of gone away from it. I get to play it like once every few months. I go back to it and enjoy it for a couple hours. So yeah, it's something I've enjoyed since it pretty well came out in 2008, 2009. So I've been like playing 15? It for 14 years. I was 14 years old, so pretty well half my life I've been playing this game.
That's hilarious to say that. Half my life I've played Minecraft.
Yep.
What did you do with your life? I played Minecraft. Half my life. Yeah, very good. Jack says, thanks, Dave and Collin, for another great Q&A. Thanks so much, Jack. And thanks, everybody. Tammy and Gary, if you're still out there, thank you so much. I know just how proud they are of you and your sister. I know your sister does a lot of great things too. I had a great conversation with her at the fundraiser, and I know Jennifer and I both talked her ear off there for a while. And how does your sister put up with you?
Well, I don't see much of her. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to see more of her, I think, now because she's finished school finally after 8 years.
Congratulations to her, right?
Yeah, big congratulations to her. So she's got 2 more board exams to go. So that's I know a bit of a stressor for her, but I think after 8 years of school, she's got this. I mean, that's what she's been studying for all these years. So
yeah.
She'll do fine, and then she'll be able to practice as a naturopathic doctor.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've seen some of that journey there too, and I just go, wow. Jennifer and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about all of you behind your back, but all in a good way, of course. And Tammy, Gary, you're welcome. That's them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I really, have enjoyed the journey with Heavy Rescue 401 and doing this. And just to reassure everybody, once again, Collin and I will continue this. We're committed to at least once a month. I say at least because you never know what else we might come up with, folks. So all I can say as far as what happens in the future, the answer is stay tuned.
Yep.
All right. Don't forget the fundraiser on June the 2nd. If you want to travel down to Sarnia and come on the beautiful Duke d'Orleans, we're going to have a lot of fun with the music there. And of course, there'll be lots of photo opportunities and just great conversation as well. So looking forward to that. And call Terry for details. I really want to call Terry right now, but I'll call him tomorrow. I'll call Terry tomorrow. Very good. Collin, thanks so much for your time, buddy. Any final words before I let you go back to reality?
You know what? Just thanks for everyone for tuning in. I know it's been a long stretch without doing this, and I've been getting a lot of messages, and I've been trying to keep up and trying to post updates.
Yeah.
It's been slow recovery wise. That's why you're seeing a little bit less posts right now, but I've got some cool pictures that I've been compiling from jobs that
cool.
I'll share with everyone. So
you just need like a personal photographer, videographer to come around with you.
I know half the time I get done a job and I'm like, I didn't take any pictures of this. I could have used these for something.
I'm semi-retired, so I don't know.
There we go. I like that.
Job for me there somewhere. Right on. Collin, thanks so much. I think a lot of you and your family as well. And you and I are overdue for like lunch in person.
Yes.
And I think actually your dad texted me the other day and he said coffee. And I said, sure. But now if I can get you there, and we could probably have lunch.
I like this.
And he'd probably buy. That's what I'm thinking. Just saying.
Well, I mean, he's watching now, so now he's going to expect one of us to buy.
The power of the microphone. That's it for me, everybody. I'm David Burrows. Collin Vanden Heuvel, thanks for joining. Until next time, thanks for watching. And don't forget, slow down and move over. It's the law. Bye, everybody.